The ninth video in our series is called guest blogging, and this is a phenomenal way of getting free traffic to, ideally to your blog. It's not really going to work to send traffic directly to a money site in most cases. I'm not going to say it's impossible because I haven't tried, but I'm sure there's people who probably pulled it off. But ideally, when you do guest blogging, you're posting content on the sites of other bloggers, and you're going to get to promote yourself as a blogger. And that's generally how it works. And I want to give you some tips on how you can do it and do it with the maximum level of effectiveness. And I'm going to show you an example of how I used guest blogging to generate a ton of traffic for free to my coaching blog. So the first thing you want to do is start targeting different blogs, ideal blogs really, where you can be a guest poster. And when I say ideal, think about topics that you write about, that you're strong with, and that you can deliver content to that blog, contribute it to that community, and stand out. You know, if you know nothing about dog training and you try to write for a dog training blog, then you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, this is pretty obvious stuff. So find things that you're good at and that you know when you write the posts, people are going to be happy with what they read and hopefully click through and read more about you and your blog. What you want to do when it comes to guest blogging is, if you go after really big blogs as a guest blogger, they probably get these requests all the time. People want to get their stuff on big blogs. I mean, it's a great source of free traffic, and it's a way for you to build a name for yourself. Well, you can't always just call up a blogger or email a blogger and say, "Hey, I want to write for you." You need to get on their radar. And what I generally recommend is become an active reader of the blog that you're interested in participating on, in writing for, and comment all the time. Every time they post something, leave really thoughtful comments, contribute to their community, comment on other commenters, and really, help their blog grow and do well, and you'll start standing out to them. If you want to go above and beyond, one thing I've done is I found blogs that I really liked, and I would actually post a video blog in response to an article I read on this other blogger's website. And I would mention the blog, I would talk about how it impacted me, and then I'd leave a trackback, a link to their post, so that he or she would be warned that, hey, another blogger has linked to you. They'd come and read it, they see a video of me talking about how good their content was, now they know who I am. And when I approached this blogger later on to say, look, I want to write for you a guest post, he said sure. He was more than happy to give me the spot because I'd already been on his radar, and he was happy to return the favor. So do it tactfully and do it with the real purpose behind this. Don't just go through the motions. Do this for the long-term win for everybody. Now, what you want to do is make sure that you write content that suits the blog first. You don't always have to do this. Sometimes you can just contact the blogger and say, can I write for you? And if you're on the radar, they might say yes. But if it's a really big blog and you want to make an impact, write a blog post and send it to them saying, here, I've written this piece of content that I was going to publish on my own blog, but I thought it was even more suitable for the kind of stuff you write about and that your audience expects, and I'd love an opportunity to be a guest blogger. Here's my content. Are you interested in posting it? Now you've kind of taken that extra step to say, I've done the work. You decide whether or not you want to post it. They might say no. They might say, I don't have the time to do it right now. But now they know that you're really serious and that you're really interested in blogging with them. And most bloggers will eventually say yes. Go ahead, give me some information or give me some content that I can publish. So I kind of already mentioned, you contact the blog owner, just get to know them, get on the radar, network with them, and build a relationship. You may want to just get to know them as a friend first before asking to post on their blog. And then when you do finally get an opportunity to write your guest post, when you write the post, make sure that you obviously bring your A game, write really, really good content that the readers of this guest blog that you're on will enjoy. Maybe they'll comment on, hopefully click through your bio, because when you're a guest blogger, you get to link to yourself saying, here's my site that I promote. And a really good strategy is, in your article, if you're talking about things or how-to guides or whatever, refer to other blog posts that you've written that reinforce the idea you're talking about in this new article. And you might have to strategically write your post so that you can do that, but you want to give yourself at least a few opportunities to link to other pieces of content. And ideally you have 2 to 4 links in your guest blog posts that link back to your content, giving these readers all kinds of opportunity to click through and read your stuff. So that's an overview of how you can use guest blogging. If you can get on the radar of some of these big blogs, you'll see an enormous influx of traffic. The challenge is to do this on a regular basis, and I'm struggling with this still because it takes time to do it. But every time I have done guest blogging, I've not regretted it because it really does send a flood of traffic in your direction if you're on a blog that already has a high readership. So let's look at a quick demo. The first thing I want to show you here is a blog post that I published on my coaching website called The Entrepreneur's Romance Bubble. Without going into the details, it was a video blog, and look at that wonderful face I'm making. Now, what I did here was I left a video about a particular article that this other blogger from markandangel.com, which is a fairly big blog in the personal development or life hacking space, whatever you want to call it. And I read a really cool article. It inspired me, like it was legitimate. I really enjoyed the article, so I wanted to write my own video reaction to it. And it's still loading there. It's going a little bit slow right now. So I did a, what was it, just over a 3-minute reaction. And if you look down here in the comments, Mark and Angel, who I had never talked to ever before this, left a comment just saying how happy they were that that I commented on his blog. So that was the start of it. But then from that point, I went back to his blog many times and commented on all the articles that were being published. Within a couple months' time, it's finally loaded here, so you can see the article. And within a couple of months' time, I was obviously on the guy's radar. He knew who I was. He had interacted with me on Twitter, so we were kind of not friends, but we were acquaintances through the social media space and through blogging. So when I approached him saying I'd like to write a guest post for your website, he was totally cool with it. And so I actually wrote a guest post here. Let's see if we can find it really quickly. And here it is. So you can see here my article was called How to Reprogram Your Mind for Self-Improvement. And right at the top he says is a guest post by Justin. And there's a link to my website. And then here's an article. So I wrote, it was a pretty heavy article. It was long. But I really wanted to hit him with my best stuff. And so I spent quite a bit of time. I wrote this article. I had a number of people edit it to make sure it flowed and sound great. But notice here, there's a couple points in my article where I'm recommending things. So I'm saying here, all things are possible to those who commit to their vision. And that's a link to a blog post on my site where I talk about committing to your vision. Another one here, the best time to come out of that shell. And there's another one about coming out of your comfort zone. So all these things are links. So it's not like I just get a single link to my website, but within the article I'm linking to posts on my website as well. So there's all these different opportunities for me to get my content seen by other people. And then one thing that I did that was a little bit different here was I embedded a YouTube video that contributed to what I was talking about in this article. And if you look at that particular YouTube video, let's actually open it in YouTube, and I want to hit pause here. It has 2,700 views, and this is growing. This is going a lot faster than any of my other videos. If you compare this to all the other videos on my channel, most of my other videos have 100 views, 200 views, 400 views, and this one comes along with 2,700. And that proves that this site has tons of traffic. So not only were they watching that video, they were also clicking the links. And I remember the huge spike in traffic I got on my website that week as a result of writing this guest post. So what I recommend you do is don't just guest post once or twice, but find a bunch of blogs and make a schedule. Say, I'm going to guest post every week or at least once a month for the next year and drive free traffic to my website. You're going to make great connections with other bloggers. You're going to get all sorts of new visitors to your site who probably never knew who you were before, and some of those people may stick, especially if you're promoting a blog. They might subscribe to your RSS feed, or they might sign up for your newsletter, or click the links to your sales pages, whatever. These are great opportunities to drive free traffic. So I recommend you get going on guest blogging as soon as you can.